Alright, what's good, YouTube? Prince here, back at it. Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't even really have time to really be uploading videos like that no these days. Work's busy. I work night shifts. Work schedule is like, ugh. But aside from all those things, I kind of wanted to do. Hopefully, this video is pretty short. I kind of want to do a short, semi-short video. Normally I do a lot of like educational videos on this channel about like improving and whatnot, but kind of wanted to do something different and actually instead talk about how like you know a lot of people in this game they tend to cope. Like, I don't know what I'll title this video. Maybe I'll title it "Don't Fall for Tekken Content Creators Gaslighting You" or whatnot. But there's a lot of coping and gaslighting in the Tekken community. I think one of the first examples would be how do I say this? I'm not sure you guys realize, but just recently, I think there was this one Tekken streamer. I don't know if his name is Debo or something. I might put his link to his channel in the description or something. But I think he had just recently hit Tekken God, God of Destruction, and he was claiming it was his first real Tekken game. And I'd say congratulations to him. That's pretty cool. And then none other than Low Tier God. If you don't know who Low Tier God is, Google him. Pretty sure if you play fighting games or watch content creators that play fighting games, you probably know who LTG is. And this video isn't really about him, isn't really too much about what he said, or I have nothing against LTG or anything like that. It's not against him or the streamer he was talking about. I have nothing against him either. But I was watching somebody do a video, and in the comment section, I believe the character that he played to get the God Destruction was Reina. And I believe in the comment section, somebody said Reina actually has a very low win-loss percentage. A very low win-loss percentage. And that's overall. That's for everybody that plays the character online in a ranked setting. And I think one of the first gaslight that people use in this game is like they try to justify their shortcomings with their character by bringing up an overall win-loss percentage with the character. And I'm here to tell you, do not listen to those people, because that is completely useless information. I want you to understand one thing about Tekken, and this is true for pretty much the majority of fighting games. Most people that play fighting games, or the majority that play fighting games online in a game like Tekken, are bad at the game. Now, this isn't me being an elitist or trying to make people feel bad. I'm just laying out the facts. Most people that play this game, they suck at it. They're not good at the game. Like, most people are not good at the game. That's why we have low level, mid level, intermediate level, and professional level. Most people cannot even play this game at a competent enough level to give fair critique to what justifies a player being bad or good. And one way I could dismantle that is a lot of people need to realize Tekken is more of a player versus player interaction. It's more of a player versus player game. Yes, I know some characters are better than other characters by a fair margin. But let me give it to you like this, right? If we took, let's say, like 80% of players, like the bottom 80% of players, like we took 80% of players are at like low mid-level play of Tekken, right? And then let's say the top 20% is where the intermediate to professional level is, right? And let's say the majority of that 80% of players that aren't that good at the game per se play a specific character. Let's say, I don't know, I mean, Kaz is pretty popular, right? Let's say the majority, let's take another character. Let's just make it up. Let's pretend like the majority of players play Fang, right? Let's say 80% of Tekken players play Fang, right? And we know Fang's a great character, right? And then we use the world win-loss ratio for Fang and say, most players that play Fang suck. Most players, they're losing a lot. Most people that play Fang, they have like a 36% win-loss ratio. And that's for the 80% of people that play the game. Now let's take let's take the top 20% of players that are at that intermediate to professional level, and they're playing a character like, I don't know, Panda, right? And those Panda players have high win-loss ratio. would you say that means Panda is better than Fang? Not really, because this game's a player versus player. It's a player versus player experience. If I have all the great, strongest players play one specific character, that character is going to have a high win-loss ratio. If I take most of the people that suck at the game and I have them play Claudio, Claudio is going to have a very low win-loss ratio, because most of the people that are playing this character are not too knowledgeable of the game, they're not good at the game, they don't have strong fundamentals. So therefore, it's kind of inflating the character to make you believe that the character is indeed weak. The character actually isn't weak. It's just that most people suck. You can flip it any way you want. You can have the strongest players playing the weakest character, and that'll bump up the win-loss ratio for that character. You can have the weakest players playing the strongest characters, and that will lower the win-loss ratio for that character. You see what I mean? This is why you guys shouldn't really take global win rate for a character seriously, because most people that play this game globally are not good at the game. So you're not gonna get great information out of going by that synopsis. Like it just doesn't make sense. And a lot of people gaslight you into saying that their character is a lot harder just because most people that play that character don't do well, which is a horrible... It's cope, honestly. What I'm trying to say is it's pretty much just cope. Like, I know this video is going to kind of turn into me just ranting with like gameplay in the background, but a lot of it's just cope if we're being honest. Now, as opposed to that player getting the God of Destruction, what did Low Tier God say? I think he said the game was affirmative action 8. Now, as much as you guys might not like LTG, I know his popularity is kind of infamous at this point, but he kind of has a point. No disrespect to the streamer, but when he's saying affirmative action 8, what LTG is really trying to say is that this game kind of holds your hand in a sense, and it does, and not entirely, not all the time, but it does. There are aspects of the game where the game does hold your hand. This is probably the most divisive Tekken game that's ever been created. And this is probably like the only Tekken game I would say that truly does hold your hand in a lot of scenarios. Whether you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not going to talk about that. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But as far as quote-unquote affirmative action 8, yes, he does have a point that this game holds your hand. I don't think the post was meant to actually disrespect the player that reached that rank in his first experience to Tekken. I think he was just pointing out the fact that would that have been possible in any other Tekken game? Probably not, unless you're going ham into really learning fundamentals. Another myth about Tekken is like, don't let people think that this is a game that you gotta play for 2 years to get good. I remember like back in the Tekken Tag 2 days where like I first really played Tekken with Tekken Tag 2. A lot of people said, oh, like, if you want to get good at this game, Prince, you gotta play this game for at least 2 years just to get good. That's not like professional level, just to get good at the game. Like, just to get proficient at the game, you gotta play the game for at least 2 years. And I say that's cap. Don't let anybody tell you that you need to play a specific fighting game or any game for 2 years in order to get proficient at the game. No, it does not take 2 years. The reason why it might take a lot of players 2 years to get good at the game is because most people that play fighting games, they focus on the wrong one. Let's just talk about Tekken. Most people that play Tekken, they focus on the wrong areas in order to improve in the game, if that makes sense. Like, for instance, like, if you take most players and you ask them what do they use training mode for in a game like Tekken, more than 80% of players are gonna say they use training mode to practice combos. That's it. That's it. Now, combos are not difficult in Tekken. Combos have never been difficult. There's probably only maybe 4 or 5 characters in this game with real, actual execution for their higher damage combos, but that's about it. Execution is not difficult for the most part in Tekken. Yes, we got characters with Just Friends, yes we have Alexius, but for most characters, most players are not struggling doing combos, alright? Yet that's what most players use the training mode for. Most people use training mode for combos, and that's it. Now, if you're only using training mode for combos, you're never really going to improve at the game. What you should be using the training mode for isn't just combos and execution. It's also labbing matchups, practicing what options you would take in a certain matchup, learning frame data, you know, learning what moves are negative, what moves are safe, what are unsafe, what's plus, what gives plus frames, you know, how to punish a character. Those things will actually help you improve at getting better at the game. Or in other words, I made a YouTube video on this, using the training mode to practice throw breaking. So if you learn how to break throws, your opponent can't force you to randomly duck at times. So you only need to duck lows for the lows that are actually very important, that are actually going to really, you know, like the big lows, like Snake Edge or stuff like that, or the reactable lows, like Alyssa's down back 4, which is reactable. You can react to that. You can block it and then launch it. That is what you should be using the training mode for. I even had like this conversation with my friends in Tag 2. Before he got good at Tekken Tag 2, I'm not gonna lie, I'm the reason he got good at the game. Because before me, when he used to play this game, he only used the training mode for combos. That was it. He only used the training mode to practice combos. Now, I did ask him, I'm like, so how do you think the quote-unquote professional players become professional players? How do you think they get so good? You think they're only focusing on combos? Or what about the intermediate players? What about those high-level players that aren't sponsored players, but they're able to hang with the pros? What do you think they're doing? What do you think they're doing? What do you think about the streamers? Well, I guess Blackheart didn't exist back then, but what do you think about the streamers like Blackheart that got every character to God Destruction? You think he did that by only focusing on combos and that was it? No. That's not how it works. If you only focus on combos in a fighting game, you're going to stagnate. You're not going to be improving on anything because you're not trying to actively improve on any other aspect of your gameplay outside of combos and execution. This is why you can have people that can do like electrics consistently, have great execution, but fundamentally they suck as a player. They can do all the hard combos, but fundamentally in a set they suck. They can't adapt, they don't know frames, they don't know how to punish, they can't break throws. Yeah, if you focus on one area of execution, yeah, you're gonna have a godlike execution, but does godlike execution automatically make you a greater player? And there's some coping and denial where you'll have a lot of players in the community that if you beat them and they're playing a quote-unquote execution heavy character, a lot of them will cope and justify the reason that they lost was because they're playing a hard character and you're playing an easy mode character that doesn't have to perform hard execution heavy combos, but because they're playing a character and they gotta do execution heavy combos, or they're trying to, that's why they're losing. They're not losing to you because you're outplaying them. They're losing because their character is simply just harder. And that's probably one of the biggest copes in this game. Like a lot of players do that stuff. Like I'm gonna show you an example right here. Let's cancel the replays. Yeah, this video is turning into a full-on rant. I'm sorry if this is different from my other form of content creation, but we'll get back track to all the other guys on how to get better at the game. Right now, just let me rant. I mean, I guess this is an educational rant too. But okay, here we go. We're gonna use this. Who should we use as an example? Damn, I think I really need to start writing down scripts for these videos. But you know, we'll use Claudio as an example. Right, because this was a character I picked up a couple days ago. I think the next video I'll do might be a Lee video, because I'm really having a lot of I'm having a lot of fun playing Lee. I played the majority of the characters in this game, but I haven't played every character in rank yet, so yeah, just more ideas. So let me give you an example, right? Claudio, hold up. I'm gonna record this, right? Down 1-2. Now Claudio has Starburst. Down 1-2 actually becomes plus. And it does very chunky damage. Without Starburst, the move is safe on block at -9. With Starburst, this move is mid-mid, and it becomes, I believe, +4, +5. Let's see real quick. Okay, +6, right? With Starburst, right? Now, what are your options? If you just simply block, you're at -6, right? But you can block the first hit and sidestep the second hit, and then punish with whatever combo you prefer, right? Because the second hit is also a punch, you can punch parry the second hit, right? Now let me stop it right there. This is what training mode is supposed to be used for, right? You have an annoying move and you're like, damn, that move's really annoying. How do I deal with that move? You put your ass in training mode, you set the CPU to record and do the move that you want to figure out how to deal with, and they do it. But this also requires knowledge on how the game works. Obviously this is a 3D fighting game, so sidestepping takes into equation. You can step in this game, you can move into the foreground, you can do whatever you want in this game, right? Now, on top of that, priorities, for instance, this down forward 1 is a mid, Claudio's down 1-2 is mid-mid, right? So what do we know about this game? We know that mids will hit you if you're ducking, right? So if you want to block a mid, you got to be standing, right? What do we also know about this game? The move he's performing is with his hand. It's punches. He's doing 2 punches, right? This game has punch parry options, right? So if you have a character with a punch parry, you can block the first hit and react to the second hit and punch parry. If you don't have that option, you have the freedom of simply blocking the first hit, right? And stepping, and then, well, that's awkward. Let's redo that. You have the option of stepping, and then, you know, punishing, and then launching Claudio on whip, right? It's honestly just that simple. You could just sidestep left to your character's left, right? And boom, you can just deal with the move. This is what training mode is used for. This is how you actually get better at the game, right? This is what you should be using in training mode for. And I say this to preface to the fact that a lot of people in this game, they don't get better at the game. Most people stagnate. Like, I know people that have been playing Tekken for like 20 years, 14 years, 16 years. Like, when I first came into the game and I was playing Tekken 2, I was running with people that were playing Tekken since Tekken 3. Like, they've been playing Tekken for like damn near like 9 years, 12 years. And I'm saying this not with like to be shameful of these people, but I got better than all those players that were playing the game longer than me in my echo chamber in a shorter amount of time. Why? Because I focused on what you needed to focus on in order to get good at the game. So if people are telling you you need to play Tekken for 2 years in order to get good at the game, that is a damn lie. You could get good, proficiently good at this game within probably 6 months or less than 6 months, even faster than that, maybe 5 months, 4 months, if you simply focus on the right thing. The reason a lot of these pro players, like take Sonic Fox for example. Sonic Fox was able to go from multiple games and come into Tekken, and you may not see Sonic Fox as like the top 5 Tekken player of all time or the most consistent Tekken player of all time, but is Sonic Fox better than 95% of the people that play this game? Yes. Maybe 95 is a stretch if you think 95 is too high, but is Sonic Fox better than 90 to 88% of the people that play Tekken? Yes, that is a fact. He actually is. You may be mad about that, but it's true. Why is he able to do that? Because as a pro, he knows what it takes in order to get good at, not even just as a pro, but he just knows what it takes in order to get good at a fighting game. He knows frames matter. He knows matchup matters. He knows matchup knowledge on the game matters. He knows knowing the properties of how the mechanics of the game works. You know all those things, and then you focus on all those things, and you'll be able to get better at the game. He also knows people develop bad habits and flowcharts, and fighting better players that are able to actually adapt and knowledge and know what bad habits you have as an opponent, it allows you to fix it on the fly. So I'd say yes, most people that stagnate or have been playing Tekken for a long time, because I guess this is what the video is about, right? This one Twitch streamer, he made a post saying this was his first Tekken game and he was able to reach God of Destruction, and then LTG came in and said, oh well, he's able to reach God of Destruction because affirmative action 8, the game holds your hand. I mean, yes, I won't deny that this game does hold your hand. I think affirmative action 8 is a funny title for this game. But I haven't watched his streams or whatnot. I've watched a couple of his gameplay videos and whatnot. But who's to say that maybe he was just focusing on the right things that he needed to focus on in order to actually reach that quote-unquote high rank? Because if we're being honest, at this point, 10 months into the game, God of Destruction is not as impressive as it was. as it was a month or 2 months into the game's, or even 3 months into the game's official launch. I'm not downplaying the streamer's accomplishment, but to sit there and say that it's only because of Tekken is holding his hand, I think that's a little disingenuous. But I don't think he was trying to poke fun at the streamer. I don't even think he was. I generally think he was not trying to insult him at all. I'm just preferencing the fact that most people stagnate or do not improve, because there's a lot of people going around saying, "Oh, LTG's in its feelings," because he must think that he's been playing Tekken way longer than this guy, right? And now this guy, it's their first Tekken experience, they're at God of Destruction, and now LTG must feel some type of way, like, damn, I gotta reach God of Destruction, because how someone that's just played this game for the first time, this is their first Tekken game, how are they able to achieve that? And I've been playing Tekken way longer than this person, right? And all I'm saying, for anyone that feels like they've been in that situation where they're like, damn, how is such and such getting better results than me when I've been putting in the time? Yes, you might have been putting in the time into the game, but you might not have been putting in that time into the right areas of the game. Like, are you someone that can consistently break throws? Do you have high level of matchup knowledge? Because that's what rank really is, right? If you're able to reach high ranks, like God of Destruction, you should have a lot of high knowledge on matchups in this game for the majority of characters. For at least 80-90% of the characters that are in the roster, right? And I know a bunch of people where they've been playing the game for a long time, and they're simply, if I'm being honest, they're kind of ass at the game, because they don't focus on the right things. They play the game, but there's a difference between playing the game and then actively playing the game. When you're playing the game in a sense that you're actually looking for feedback, you're actually looking to improve on certain areas, you're actually trying to improve, you're actually seeing, what am I doing wrong in this game, what am I doing right? And then you got people that don't really think or pay attention to that stuff, they just simply just play the game, right? But just because you play the game, that doesn't mean you're going to get better. You might improve, obviously, but you might stagnate unless you're specifically trying to target certain areas of the game that you're struggling on, or that you're not that proficient at, not that good at, right? So yeah, this video kind of turned into a rant. My next video will probably be like a live commentary video of me playing ranked matches and going over what I'm thinking in the set live, rather than these videos where I'm kind of having replays play in the background, or I'm going to training mode and I'm ranting and I'm talking about things. So yeah, more content coming through. If you found anything I said in the video to be even slightly helpful or useful or entertaining, consider subscribing. It's free. Follow me on Twitch. I stream on Twitch pretty frequently. I stream more than I upload just because of my work schedule. So it's a lot easier for me to stream. So if you actually want content, or if you're one of the person that requested I do a video of me live playing ranked matches, going over what I'm thinking during the match, try following me on Twitch and try catching me going live and streaming Tekken. I do stream this game a lot when I actually do start streaming. But you know, I stream Tekken, right? That's all I'm trying to say, right? So yeah, that's the end of the video. I'm not sure what I'm gonna title this video. It did turn into a ranting section of me just ranting and whatnot. But if you enjoyed it, let me know. And for anything else, for any ideas for any videos I should do in the future, just let me know in the comment section. And that's it. I'm out. Have fun.